of you Virgos very much so having a lot of fun. There's definitely a sense of real self-value. Look, you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. Choosing to spend your time however it is that you want to. Choosing to spend your time with either by yourselves or with other people, loved ones, family members, romantic interests, or some of the people that are romantically interested in you. And a lot of you Virgos are going off and getting to know those people that show you interest. The Page of Wands, because you Virgos are not gonna continue to try to spend your time with people that don't show you that they are enthusiastic on actually being with you, right? It really doesn't make sense. So the Nine of Swords represents a lot of you Virgos just don't want anybody to come through and that you used to know and try to say what's up. You don't want any kind of exes or could have been exes or could have been in a relationship with them, or they could have been in a relationship with you. You don't want those people coming back, because the way that a lot of you Virgos are looking at it is, which probably makes sense, they had their opportunity, they blew it. They should have taken this opportunity to get with you a little bit more seriously. Instead, you just don't want a bunch of Indian givers, right? You don't want a bunch of people who make it seem like they are showing up, right? And then they try to make your life more difficult. And then when you Virgos decide you don't want these type of people in your life anymore, you're staying away from them. No harm, no foul. These are the very same people that can't seem to take no for an answer, even though they was constantly telling you about what it is that they weren't going to do and what they don't want, right? Just making the experience with them more difficult. So the Knight of Wands and the Two of Cups now is about how, since that's the case, a lot of you Virgos very much so are not BSing around. A lot of you are, again, like Leo, a lot of you are like, look, the person is either gonna hang out with me and give me a chance. If they're not gonna do that, that's fine. It's completely up to them. But you're not gonna waste your time. You're not gonna play these stupid games. You're not gonna do any of that stuff, right? The Two of Cups. You are simply hanging out with people who do show you interest. Simple. All of these games, I see a lot of you Virgos really realizing that a lot of that stuff is played out. And it is played out. You know? It is played out. So the thing is that the King of Swords now is about, since a lot of you Virgos are being more kind of, I don't know, how do I say this? You Virgos are being more business minded in that regard, right? Like more strict, more straight to the jugular, more like, okay, if it's gonna work out, if it's gonna work out, the person's gonna say yes. If no, then I'm bouncing, and I'm not gonna give them a call. I'm not gonna reach out. I'm not gonna do any of that stuff ever. They got one shot, one. Since a lot of you Virgos are looking at it from that perspective, the King of Swords, you've realized that that's really the best way that you can do it. Because, yeah, like, you know, a lot of us Virgos don't really want over emotion, right? A lot of us Virgos don't like that, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us, and you can tell me if I'm lying in the comment section, but a lot of Virgos don't want over emotion. Somebody who is just irrational and out of their mind, stupid, don't have any kind of greater vision for the future, just is uneasy to be with, and they can't control themselves. You know, the Virgos are trying to get them to calm down, because we're trying our best to get these people to not wild out, and they can't see things our way. They're constantly trying to, they just can't come up on out of their over emotion. Every time with them, it's always got to be a problem. You burning the Virgos out for any cross watchers who do that type of stuff. We are, depending on the Virgo, right? The Virgo may decide to stay with you, or the Virgo may decide to abandon you and leave you alone, depending on the Virgo, right? And you may not even know that they abandoned you. They just left. The Virgos may just leave. So now you Virgos are more like that, the Nine of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles, because you're not going to sweat about this. You're not going to stress. You're not going to have anybody else having you stressed and making you feel a certain kind of way. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. All of this stress that these people think that they have all this value that they can't seem to actually demonstrate, right? But they keep talking about, or they strut their stuff like they really have all this value. I honestly see that a lot of you Virgos are kind of low-key calling a lot of people out. Like, you got a timetable. If you can't show me some form of value, and if this is in essence going nowhere, you got to step off. So that kind of seriousness, that kind of real seriousness, right? The 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups, this has kind of got a lot of people that would have played games with you really on their toes. It has everyone on their toes, because now it's like, it's harder for people to try to kind of waste your time. It's harder for that. It's hard. Again, a lot of you Virgos are making it harder on people to come through and waste your time. That's another thing too. A lot of people come through and waste our time. A lot of stupid people come through and waste our time. Come on in. They come on in, and they just there. I would know. They come on in. They're there. They're not providing any substance. They're constantly talking about what they're not going to do. And here you are showing them that you're interested, that you are for real, that you have their back. And again, that over emotion that they have. They're so stupid. They can't see the fact that we do have their back. We've been trying the whole time, but they're dunces. They're dumb. And I had a friend at the time who's a Virgo herself talk about how she knows who she is. But I had a friend at the time who I don't know, I don't talk to her, but at the time who's a Virgo, she knows who she is. She was talking about how it is a lot of times people have to learn when it comes to dealing with Virgos the hard way, because she was going in, because she was talking about how, in essence, people really have to learn from Virgos the hard way, because people are so slow. People are so dumb. The Virgos, when the Virgos don't want to be with anybody, or they don't want help, as a Virgo, we will say, we don't want help. We don't want to be with anybody, what it is. And people don't understand this. But then when we are showing an effort, telling somebody we're showing an effort, it's like they still don't understand. And it's like, how could you not understand when we're blatantly telling you that this is what's going on with us, and that we do want you around, and that we want you to be in our lives long term, because we see value in you. This is Virgo. This is where it is that you get a lot of stupid individuals that come up, try to waste our time, and they think that they're so dumb. They think that they're doing something, right? They think that they're actually accomplishing anything, and it's like the whole time just trolling you for 7 years. Trolling you, calling you, right? Trying to ask you questions that don't really amount to anything, trying to hang out with you, putting themselves out there. Then when you go, okay, then when you Virgos shoot your shot, and you Virgos, right, went, okay, let's hang out. Then they disappear for 3 weeks, and then they complain and moan and act like, oh, and then they act like they're stupid, they're dumb. So a lot of us Virgos now, we're putting everybody on time out. Like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go talk to somebody who isn't playing these games. And I'm telling you, Virgos, it's got a lot of people looking real stupid, because it's like now people are starting to understand how serious you are. All that dumb stuff, all of that goofy antics, them cartoon character, Looney Tune antics that they're trying, it's not working, because you Virgos are just looking like, yeah, I'm gonna go talk to somebody else. Leave your stupid behind here looking stupid by yourself, goofy. So let's clarify some of these cards. So let's clarify the 7 of Cups. Right, because the Seven of Cups as well, because I just remembered this as well. It just came to me. The Seven of Cups also represents you have a lot of takers. You have a lot of people who do want your attention, right? So to clarify the Seven of Cups, we have the Judgment, the Moon, Eight of Swords, Page of Pentacles, right? This is about how this is a situation for you where, again, you know, ultimately, this is about you, Virgos, realizing your own self-worth, and that people really deep down, the moon, you've ghosted a lot of those people. You don't have the time to deal with these people. You realize that these people are dysfunctional, but the judgment, if we're really going there, and we are, it's really that a lot of those people that knew you from the past, that know you and would like to come back, they are waiting on you to revert back to giving them a chance to resurrect this deceased relationship. And it's just not going to happen anymore, because the Eight of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, look at the cap and gown, right? You've been educated on how goofy a lot of people are, how much of a waste of time it is to deal with them, how people accomplish absolutely nothing whatsoever, trolling you in real life, just doing all of this nonsense that doesn't mean squat at the end of the day. But they waste their time doing this, right? And they're too mentally off their rocker to actually do something that would make sense. They'd rather just troll you all day. It looks stupid. So the thing is that the Eight of Swords is about, you know, ultimately they're living hand to mouth. And you Virgos see that. But you Virgos are not going to allow other people to squander your life. You got a life to live.